Hey everyone, and welcome to today's recap. Hope you all are having a fantastic Wednesday. Clearly, the House is in session this week because I am in my office in Harrisburg, but looking forward to getting to spend some time with you all out and about in the district next week. I think that'll be great. This week, the governor gave his budget address, and obviously, I have disagreed with Governor Wolf a number of times publicly, including around continued issues with our state's unemployment system and around his administration's response and management of the pandemic. However, there are some things about his budget proposal that are very good for our district, and I'm going to go over a few of them. This is obviously not a comprehensive look at the budget, which would take hours, but I'm just going to point out some things that are really good. I do want to say too, in terms of my priorities for the budget, and please, let me know yours. I want to hear in the comments, but I want to see a budget that helps workers, that encourages business education, where business innovation, where we're investing in education, providing support for families, prioritizing seniors, veterans, and other folks in need as well. That's what's really important to me. And obviously, I would like to see that happen without raising taxes. So feel free to let me know your priorities in the comments. Definitely looking forward to hearing those. But a few things that I want to highlight about the budget that the governor proposed that I think could be good. His proposed budget includes an increase to the minimum wage of $12 an hour. That would occur on July 1st, 2022, and this does include a path to $15 an hour as well. The proposal provides an additional $1.25 billion for basic education funding, which I think would take a lot of the stress off of property owners, especially folks who are living on a fixed income like our seniors. And it invests $70 million into early childhood education and some additional money into childcare as well, which is critically important for folks looking to get back to work. Another thing that I think is really interesting is that his budget proposal accelerates the phase down of state police funding out of the motor license fund. And this happens by adding state police funding from other sources. And what this would do is it would free up that money from the motor license fund, which was initially targeted toward infrastructure, back to infrastructure. So that means more resources for roads and bridges. This also happens in concert, obviously, with the federal investments that we're seeing. Important to point out as well is that the budget proposal does not include a tax increase to meet these goals. And that, for me, is critically important. Folks have struggled economically during this pandemic, and the last thing we want to see is additional financial hardship there. Other key things to point out, there is an additional $91.25 million to increase medical assistance rates for skilled nursing facilities. And the budget also includes a $50 million increase to the personal care home state supplement, which I think is really important. It also, in an attempt to address the gun violence that we're seeing in our communities, the budget includes $35 million for grants to support community-led gun violence prevention. So I think that's really important. We've seen an investment of that money in our district already. We've had organizations with my support receive gun violence, community-led gun violence prevention funding grants from the state, and I would love to see that continue to really start to address some of this violence that we're seeing. The budget also prioritizes folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities by investing $18.8 million to serve approximately 800 folks who are currently waiting for services. Now, that doesn't put a dent in the 13,000 people who are currently waiting, but at least it's a start. We're going to have budget hearings throughout the rest of this month and much of March, and then budget negotiations will start in earnest and continue throughout June as well. So feel free to let me know in the comments what you would personally like to see in the budget, what your priorities are, so I can take that back to Harrisburg and fight here for what our community would like to see. I'm also really excited. One of the things that we did in the House this week was pass a bill to invest $25 million to help our EMS. And so that means we'd see more money for ambulance and rescue companies And from my perspective, this is really important. These folks have been on the front lines throughout this pandemic. They've been working hard and often not being adequately compensated for the work that they do. So I was very excited about that and looking forward to bringing some of that money back to the district for the EMS companies that serve our residents. So that is the recap. As always, please feel free to reach out to my office for any assistance with state services and, of course, any other issues that you might be having. I always say, if I'm not the right elected official for you for the particular issue that you're facing, I'll help you find the one who is. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll see you later.